14, you're going to be selecting each color individually. Okay, so let me open that file up. 14. Okay, so what you're gonna do is for each color, you're making a new layer. Okay, we have one layer here, so you can start with making your layers, labeling your layers. So we're gonna have magenta, yellow, and cyan. This just helps you to keep everything organized. Okay, you don't want to put them on the same layer, because if you make a mistake on one, you can just delete it. If you make a mistake and you don't have your layers, you're going to be stuck with having to redo it. So I don't want you to do that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a circle around the whole entire object. Okay, so hold your shift key, make a perfect circle. Okay, again, make sure new selection is selected. As you've seen, I forgot a couple of times already, but you know, just make sure you're able to catch that. Now you're gonna go to, once you have your circle, you want this top portion or this side, doesn't matter. It's just that we want to make sure we have a nice edge around the pink, okay, around the magenta. Anything outside of the magenta shape, it's okay. Like this part is not perfect. Okay, we're going to switch to subtract from selection, and we're going to be making our circle line up with this inside part of the pink. Okay, so I'm going to be making, okay, that didn't work. So it might take a couple of tries, and I want to try to get it a little bit better. You can even go like that and play around with, there we go. Okay, perfect. So you see, it took me a couple of times. Now to get the pink completely selected, this top part, we're going to switch to our intersect from, and this time we want our top of our circle to match, and we're going to press Command Z. We want the top of the circle that I'm drawing right now to match with this part of the pink, so that way when we let go, that the yellow is not in the intersection, in the selection anymore. So like this. Okay, now I did lose some of my pink. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to add to, and just see if I can very lightly drag my mouse. Okay, you can try to fix it with the intersect from selection undo and try it a couple of times. I just did it like this because for me that's easier. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paint bucket tool, okay, and I'm going to be changing my foreground color. The foreground color should be D64883, and then you're just going to use your paint bucket tool and add the color in there. Okay, and you can close the eyeball on that first layer if you want to see your selection. So not perfect, but it does the job. Okay, and we might even cover that part that I see over here that's not there. We might be able to cover that part up with the yellow. Okay, now I'm going to switch my layer to yellow. I'm going to switch my tool back to the elliptical marquee tool. I'm going to switch back to new selection. Okay, again, we're going to start by creating our circle. Okay, so you want to try to make it so that it's perfect around the yellow this time. Okay, we're using this as our outline for our yellow color. So whatever's around the pink or the blue doesn't matter. Okay, you're going to switch to subtract from selection, and this time we want this circle to match up here. And if you don't make it perfect the first time, just Command Z and try it again. Okay, so like that. Okay, and then intersect from selection, we want the circle to line up over here. Okay, so like that. Okay, this one was a little easier to do because of the angle. Now I'm going to do the same process. Paint bucket, switch my color. Okay, the color here should be FCE 830. okay? And then we're gonna add our color, press Command D or Select Deselect. And now when I go and I check, we can see how it looks. Okay, switch to cyan, layer, switch to elliptical marquee tool, switch to new selection, make your circle. Move your circle if you need to. It should be nice and lined up here. Subtract from selection. We want the circle to line up to inside of that blue shape the best we can. Okay, like that. And then intersect, and we want the intersect the circle to line up here. Nope, Command Z. Let's see if I can do it this way. Let's try again. I'm going to try again from this top. Here we go. That's going to be perfect, I think. There we go. Perfect. So you see it's a learning curve. Okay. Switch to our paint bucket. Switch the color. Okay, we have 3F, 9, ED, 8. You're going to fill the color in. Okay, Command D. And now actually we have to move our pieces, okay? So you could do them either one by one and just move it, or I'm gonna show you how to select multiple layers. So you're gonna select your first layer, hold the shift key and select your bottom layer. So we have cyan, yellow, magenta. Take your move tool, and now when you move them, it should be perfect. If you see any spaces, just move them around. And there we go. Try your best to get it to be perfect. If it doesn't line up, like mine is not lining up, it's not, as long as it lines up as close as you got it. It's more of, I want to see that you were able to get the assignment done, okay? Of course, I would prefer you to make it perfect, but it might be a little bit difficult for some of you to get it exactly the way it needs to be. So, and every time I do this video or I do this assignment, my circles, my shapes always come out a little bit different. So it's really just more about how perfect you want to make it. Okay, there we go. That's still not lining up. I might have to redo the blue. Let's see. All right, perfect. If it didn't line up, I would have redid it because I want it to be as perfect as I can get it. Okay. How did you complete this challenge? And then save it as activity 14 in your name. And for this activity, I want you to submit both the Photoshop and the JPEG files to Google Classroom. Okay. Because I am going to check that you have your layers. Like I have my layers right now. And if you don't have your layers, then you're gonna lose some points. So just make sure you do use layers, and that you're naming each layer with the color you use. Okay. If you're in the PM session, then you'll find the Google link on Google Classroom. If you're in the AM session and you would like to make up the demonstration portion of the assignment because you weren't in for the demonstration, just comment on the assignment and I will provide you with the link.